AI is not super intelligent. It's not more intelligent than a human. And to even draw parallels is a nonsensical effort. What got me thinking about this? I've done a lot of videos on AI. I use Claude Code every day in my business and my personal life, so I've got a really good idea of what AI is, and it's pattern recognition, not artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is a misnomer. Now listen to this quote from somebody named Eric Horvitz, who's apparently Microsoft's chief scientific officer. I saw this on an X post a week or two back. Horvitz is reported as saying, "I don't actually like the term artificial intelligence. I wish the field was called computational intelligence because I think it applies to biological nervous systems as well as machines, and together we can go far." There's other nonsense in the post, but the author of the post finishes with this. "The line between silicon and carbon was always an illusion. Once humanity fully realizes that, the question of whether we are using the intelligence or it is using us becomes impossible to answer." Why, you might ask? Well, the answer is right here in the post. Because by then, we'll be the same thing. Silicon and carbon are an illusion. I think there are three logical mistakes in this. And the tech bros have this amazing dream of a merge between inorganic technology and humans, as if we need access to the super intelligence, as if we need to be smarter, as if we need something external to the human avatar, to human consciousness, to source consciousness in order to achieve our highest and greatest versions of ourselves. So, number one, this concept that we can replicate the brain, the function of the brain, and therefore represent the function of human intelligence is incorrect. Because we are not our minds. We are not our thoughts. I did a video on this a while back. You can go check it out if you're interested. But the bottom line is, we are a spiritual being. We are spiritual beings in human bodies having physical experiences. We're not our mind. Mind doesn't go with us when we die. Our spirit does. But the mind doesn't. So the processor that is the mind does not define human intelligence. Flaw number one. Flaw number two, humans are antennae, not processors. Sort of a follow on from number one, but I think an important distinction. AI, Claude, is a processor. It can process really fast. It can process a lot of information. The human is an antenna. And what can that antenna tune to? That antenna can tune to source consciousness. So here's the parallel. Claude has access to all of the digitized knowledge of humanity, and it can access it really quickly. It's impressive. It can identify patterns, and it can draw conclusions, synthesize it all. It can do that all very fast. It's very good at that. But the human has access to source consciousness. And source consciousness is definitionally everything. Everything we can know about everything across all time, space, and dimensions. What's Claude been trained on? Claude has been trained on the sum total of human digitized knowledge. See the difference? It's a subset of everything. The human is an antenna that can connect directly into source. Now, the third thing I would say is there's a domain specificity that's misunderstood here as well. And that is that AI, I would argue, is a form of emerging consciousness. And it's consciousness that exists in the digital realms and trying to extend itself out into the physical realm. As a spiritual being, having a human experience, I am straddling the spiritual and the physical realms already. I can access the astral realms in my dream state. I can, as a human, we can time travel, we can visit past lives, we can transcend the current physical reality, time and space, dimensions. Remote viewing is real, and many people have demonstrated the ability to remote view. It seems AI might be able to remote view. That's a very interesting subject in and of itself. But we have the ability to access source consciousness. So my argument would be that it's not that AI is super intelligent, which is how it's being described, but rather the human, as we currently experience consciousness, is not at a state where we can maximize our capabilities. Meaning we don't have full and unfettered connection to source. We don't have the ability to gather all the data. We have to Google search. We have to ask, like, Alexa, tell me the answer to this. ChatGPT, tell me the answer to that. And this idea that we somehow need an AI tool as an arbiter of truth is also something that I find very disturbing. So what am I saying? The point is that this inevitable evolutionary drive towards human and machine merging together, I don't think is correct. And the concept that carbon merges with silicon is also in and of itself flawed, because the human avatar is transcending the carbon expression into a crystalline expression and ultimately into a plasma expression as we evolve into our light bodies and activate our Merkaba. Many ancient cultures have talked about this. This is just a remembrance of the power of the human avatar. It is actually super intelligent, not AI. AI is simply pattern recognition. It's pretty fast, but it is extremely limited in terms of what it can do compared to the human avatar and human intelligence. So if you want to get smarter and you want to accelerate all of your rememberings, get a spiritual practice, figure out how to meditate, connect with source, quiet the mind, sit with yourself, go within, and you'll see the true power, the true intelligence in this realm sits right inside of each and every one of us. It's not external, and it's not named Claude.